got this.
It's just there.
Well, it's just.
You can go ahead. You got this.
Alright, so we're here to canvass all the results from all the propositions we had. So what we'll have to go through on your paper that I gave you, the reading on it, is a list of all the results from the elections office. And so we're gonna start with proposition one. I also gave y'all a sheet that y'all can tally all of the results on there.
Okay, you need two of these, right? I mean, you need
Yes.
two people to do
Yes, sorry.
this.
So
You
we
got
will
one, who's got
start,
the other one?
did y'all find them all? I gave y'all a pencil too, so y'all can take a look at those.
All right. Yeah, tally them up.
Okay, so for Proposition A, which is on the first page, so page 6 of the green handout, absentee voting for 4 was 13. Early voting was 689. And election day voting is 423. With a total for Proposition A was 1,125.
Yeah. Same phase the last one.
Oh, yes, on page 6, sorry.
I had to get some, dude. I had to.
Yeah.
I mean, I need to bring them with me from now on. I don't know why I keep forgetting them. Especially with y'all print like in 7 fonts on most of the stuff.
Try to make the other paper bigger. The one where you tally them. Did y'all all get that answer for Proposition A?
Everybody get the same number?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for against Proposition A, we had 23 absentee voters, 1,320 for early voting, 823 for election day voting, with a total of 2,166.
Correct.
Ding, all right. Moving on to Proposition B, it's on the second page at the top. Okay, so for Proposition B, for absentee voting, we had 9. Early voting had 651. And election day voting had 385, with a total of 1,045.
Bingo. That's right.
Okay. Against Proposition B, we had 27 absentee voting. Early voting was 1,362. Election day was 855, with a total of 2,244.
Over here.
Okay.
On his own time.
Yes. Are
Yes.
you waiting?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
was waiting. Okay, Proposition C. For absentee voting is 10. Early voting is 636. Election day is 400, with a total for 1,046.
Right.
Okay. Against absentee voting was 25. Early voting was 1,374. Election day was 840, with a total of 2,239 against. Okay. Proposition D, for absentee voting, 18. early voting 694, election day 409, with a total for 1,121.
Yes.
Okay. Against, absentee voting 18, early voting 1,321, election day voting 826, with a total against 2,165. Do y'all have any questions?
Do you need a copy, do you need to keep all these tally sheets, Alex?
We keep a copy.
But you don't need all these that we've got up here. Okay.
We just need one that's signed off that you guys.
Eric's got one right here, or somebody.
Yes, and I believe Julie has one she's gonna have y'all sign as well.
I got Patrick.
You got Patrick's?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the canvass of the election results.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the canvassing of the election results just presented.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the canvassing of the results. Any questions or comments?
No, sir.
Not, all in favor, raise your hand, please. And it is passed unanimously. All righty, thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank
Alex, thank you
you.
for all your hard work. Okay, board members will now adjourn to executive session as authorized by the Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code Section 551.001 concerning any and all purposes permitted by that act. Should any final action, final decision, or final vote be required, that final action, final decision, and final vote shall take place in open session, and we are going into executive session at 4:53 p.m.
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Good evening. I'd like to welcome each of you to this meeting of the Santa Fe ISD Board of Trustees. I believe it's important that this meeting be conducted in an organized and efficient manner, and to that end, I'd like to outline a few ground rules for all of us to follow during the course of the evening. First and foremost, recognize this is the board's meeting. By law, most of the discussion and all of the voting must be done in open session, but public participation by necessity must be limited to that part of the agenda that's reserved for public input. Occasionally, the board may seek comment or clarification from an administrator, attendance, or even someone in the audience, and it's the board's prerogative to seek that information from non-board members. However, the unsolicited participation from the audience would be inappropriate. Secondly, at times, just know that we're voting on issues of importance with little or even no discussion. Just be advised that all board members get a packet of background information about the subject on tonight's agenda several days in advance of actually coming here to participate in the meeting. And after receiving those packets, we have and often exercise the opportunity to contact the various school administrators to ask specific questions in a better effort to understand the issues that we're expected to vote on. We thank you for being interested in your school district, as witnessed by your presence here tonight, and we encourage your active participation in the educational process of your children. Appreciate your cooperation in helping us conduct the business of Santa Fe ISD in an organized and civilized manner, and I hope you enjoy the evening. Okay, we'll go now with our invocation and pledges. Pastor Greg Lackey, I understand you. Would you come and lead us in prayer, please?
Oh, okay, go for it. You want to do it? No, you're good, you're good.
We got two pastors here, that's not a bad thing.
That's
Would
Would you bow your heads with me, please? Father of light, Father, we come to you asking for your help this evening. Father, we ask for your gifts. We ask for wisdom for our board members. We ask patience for our parents and for our students, Father. Always, Father, protect them, keep them safe. Father, we ask your guidance in this meeting, and we ask it in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
And if y'all will stand for our special guest giving us the pledges tonight, Mr. Levi and Miss Savannah, if y'all would come forward for us, please. And you can come stand next to you, Dr. Bob. Here, they come right this way. Ready, start. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you very much.
Thank y'all so much. Great job, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah. Thank y'all. Okay, do we have any action coming from our closed session tonight?
Mr. President, we do. We have a canvassing of our votes for,
We did that already.
for,
We did that.
for,
We did that during the workshop.
okay,
Okay. No, that's an action item coming up
Okay.
later. Okay.
excuse me.
All right. So we have no action from our closed session?
No, sir.
All right. Ms. Davenport, I know you have some recognitions for us tonight.
I want to start this evening by inviting Miss Ryan up. She is going to start by introducing our junior high band director and some of the junior high band students.
Okay, good evening. I would like to recognize our band director, Mr. Cassidy. Come on in. And he's going to recognize some of our students that won at a recent UIL contest in Friendswood.
Good evening, Dr. Bott, members of the Santa Fe ISD administration and the Board of Trustees, ladies and gentlemen, parents who are here. My name is Archie Cassidy. I'm the head band director at Santa Fe Junior High, and it's truly an honor and privilege to stand before you tonight. We're here to celebrate an extraordinary history-making achievement by our Pride of the Tribe Junior High band students. In October 2025, 22 dedicated students traveled to the Region Band auditions, an incredibly rigorous and demanding process. Since August, these students have practiced tirelessly, preparing for challenging music and memorizing scales to be evaluated by a blind panel of judges. They auditioned alongside students from districts across the region and represented Santa Fe ISD, Santa Fe Junior High, and our community with tremendous class, discipline, and musicianship. While we are proud of every student who auditioned, tonight we celebrate the 5 students who earned a place in one of the region bands, an accomplishment that marks the highest number of band students placed in the past 5 years combined for our band program. Last week, these students spent 8 hours in rehearsals and concluded with a wonderful concert alongside the top musicians from across the region. Tonight, it is our joy to recognize the following students and their achievement. In Region Symphonic Band, Chris Stripling on trumpet. In Region Concert Band, Brooklyn Dreamer on trumpet. Region Concert Band, Chris Bailey on tenor sax. And in Region Concert Band, Leilani Medina on clarinet. And in District Band, Marcus Agassi on euphonium. Students, thank you for your hard work, determination, and trailblazing spirit. You have set a new standard of excellence and have made history for Santa Fe ISD. We also extend our appreciation to everyone who made these achievements possible. Our bookkeeper, our front office personnel, campus staff, administration, our wonderful principal, Ms. Ryan, our private lesson teachers, and our dedicated band directors. Janet Henderson, who's the assistant band director at the junior high, Blaine Schulmeyer, high school assistant band director, and Mr. Matt Raines, high school director of bands. Thank you for your support of the arts of our students and the Pride of the Tribe band program. Thank you.
Okay. Great job, guys.
Good job.
Yes. After Miss Lucy gets a picture, we will give you guys a minute to come up and take one as well.
Good job, board. I can see all of you. All right, gotcha.
Parents, if you'd like to step over here, y'all
Wait for
stay.
your parents.
Stay. Y'all want to step up and get a picture, feel free.
Congratulations.
Good job, guys.
All right, quick.
Great job.
Great job. Proud of y'all. Good job, proud of you. Good job, sir.
Next, Miss Ryan is going to come back, and she is going to introduce the junior high cheer sponsor and some of the junior high cheerleaders, or maybe all of the junior high cheerleaders. All right.
Okay. It's my honor to introduce Coach Alyssa Hovey with our Santa Fe Junior High cheerleaders who are winning awards in every competition that they go to. They are on fire this year. We were recognizing them for first place for a contest a couple weeks ago, but then they did really awesome this weekend too. So I'm going to let Coach Hovey talk to you about that and introduce the girls.
Hello, I'm Coach Hovey, and I am here to recognize the Santa Fe Junior High cheer team for their hard work and dedication that brought them success at their most recent regionals competitions. We have Addison Strange, Addison Miller, Adeline O'Day, Ellison Lufsey, Emma Griggs, Juliana Aguilar, Casey Bayless, Kinley Reynolds, Kinsley Hurst, Lillian Thompson, Macy Pelishek, Mackenzie Unbehagen, Madison Garza, Maylee Watson, Ryan Garza, Riley Ruiz, Skylar Rockhind, Stephen Milligan, Tara Lawson, and Kinley Thomas. On November 2nd, at their UCA Regionals competition, this team placed first in the game day division. Most recently, yesterday, at their NCAA Regionals competitions, they won first place for performance, earning a bid to nationals, and they earned second place in game day, earning a bid to nationals for Fort Worth in January. We are very excited to see where this team goes. They are a talented and hardworking group of athletes. Congratulations, girls.
Great job, ladies.
Y'all can move back. We're gonna bite. You can move back. You okay?
Y'all are professionals at that. Yep, find your window.
I think they've taken a picture or two together.
That's not like they'll be fast. You ready? Okay. One, Miss Ryan, will you scooch in just a bit? Perfect, thank you. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Parents, if you want to come up,
Keep hugging. Keep
y'all
hugging.
just stay, keep your pose.
Great job.
Anybody else?
Great job, ladies.
Congratulations, ladies. Y'all go that
Good job, ma'am. Thank you very much.
How are you?
We got parents out in the hallway. They're trying to get in now. He was confused. He was thinking it was different.
At this time, I would like to invite Coach Webb up to recognize the varsity volleyball team.
I went to school with her. I hadn't seen her in probably 40 years.
I promise the kids are here.
Recognized her since.
Here. All right. Good evening. Thank you for having us here. I am Coach Webb. This is my assistant, Sierra Sanseri. And this is our 25 varsity volleyball team. It's not easy to give up as much time as they do during the summer, 2 weeks where they're working early morning, late evenings, but they did it. They worked hard. They've had a great season, a successful season. We were 8-4 in district, which put us in 3rd place and advanced us to the playoffs for the 6th consecutive year in a row. So they have kept the tradition of our playoff run alive. I don't really have a whole lot to say about them, but I do want to, we did our district picks last week, so I would like to announce some of our award winners. I'm not going to name off all of the academic award winners, but 11 of our 13 players were academic all-district, which means they had to have a 90 average of all their grades or higher for the first 9 weeks, and they did that. We did have 2 really big awards for the District 25A. Offensive Player of the Year went to Caroline Dory. That's a really big award for us. And then Kayla Gonzalez received a co-blocker of the year. We had 3 first-team picks, Rayleigh Lawson, Alexis Durant, and Addie Winslow. And then we had 2 second-team All-Districts, Kinley Peters and Gianna Rojas. And 3 honorable mentions, Madeline Mayfield, Kate Henry, and Charlie Lofton. Again, these ladies put in a lot of hard work, and I think our district picks and our records show that this year. So I just want to say thank you for all your support for these ladies and our program. Thank you.
Congratulations, ladies.
Good job, girls.
Okay. All right, Mr. Pratt. Okay, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, squish in. Perfect. All right, 1, 2, 3. Keep your eyes open. Okay, parents.
Parents, if you want to step up here and take a picture, feel free. Anybody want to? Yeah, don't be shy. Want to take a picture? No? Y'all got it? Okay, y'all get on the Facebook page? Okay, y'all are good. Y'all got out easy. Go that way, though, you're going to get your award, your medal.
Smart parents.
Appreciate it, Webb.
What's next? Recognition still?
Yeah. What's that? We got, thank.
Yeah, we still got a couple more.
I got time to use the restroom.
Yes.
And at this time, I would like to invite Coach Ryder up to recognize our varsity football team. Kind of just spread out. Yeah. Kind of stop right here for me.
That's a big old boy.
And just face the front. And then y'all just kind of spread out. Some of these on that side spread out. Yeah.
Nobody wants to be in the front row.
Hey, y'all can move up.
Now, we can have more people.
Yeah, come on, they don't need to see me, man. Get on up here.
More people on the line of scrimmages is legal here.
Good evening. I'm Coach Ryder, head football coach here in Santa Fe, and I'm here to introduce the 2025 Santa Fe football team. I'd like to start by thanking this coaching staff behind me here. They work hard day in and day out. They give these student athletes all that they have, time away from their families. And in my opinion, we have the best staff here in the state of Texas, so I really appreciate them. To these guys here in front of me, especially the seniors, I want to thank you first and foremost for, giving me your heart and soul and this coaching staff and this community and this team, your heart and soul for the last 4 years. It was a great season, and it's for the whole team. We had a record of 6-4 with 4 district wins. I asked Coach Wolf back there in the hallway, I said, wouldn't it be safe to say that no team in Santa Fe history has won more district games than 4? We ended in a 3-way tie for third and did not make the playoffs. I tell this team all the time that everything happens for a reason, and maybe one day that we'll figure that out. But for right now, we'll focus on everything that we earned. I talk to the team all the time about leaving a legacy and making memories. You earn those type of things. You earn them through showing up on time every day, giving 100% effort every rep, being a good teammate, being coachable, and many other things that this team has sacrificed. Some memories that we have earned forever with this team is coming back to beat Lamar Khan at their homecoming game with a new staff, and they had all the momentum going in the fourth quarter when they had us down 21-20, and we come back to win the game, first district game of the year, by 2 touchdowns. I'll always have the memories of riding that school bus home. I was on the defensive bus, and we jammed the turtle box every away game, and we listened to Keith Whitley, by the way. Keith Whitley, of all people. That's why I love this team so much. We beat the top 10 ranked team in the state, Marshall, at home. as the fans rushed the field after the game, I would be willing to say it was one of the biggest wins, if not the biggest win in Santa Fe history. We'll have that memory to share forever. You have built an incredible legacy here in Santa Fe and made great memories for a lifetime. I'm so proud to have coached this team. Let's hear it for your 2025 Santa Fe football team.
Step up now.
Small baby.
We don't bite. Come on, guys.
5 is right there. That's the one that's going on.
Yeah, how we gonna do this?
Wide zoom this in.
Yeah.
Stand around. Okay, y'all take some steps back without knocking people over with braces. Front center, yeah. Okay, all right.
Yeah. You want me to squat?
You're gonna have to get a step ladder to
Who
get the
can
board
do
in
this?
the picture.
Yeah, who can squat?
Squat a little bit?
Yeah, coach, let's see it. It will not go on Facebook. How about our board members? Can you guys like tippy toe or something?
Don't worry. Do every month.
No, y'all are back there. Photoshop you
We
in.
see you supporting back there. Okay. Yeah. Yes, you're smiling. This is not a serious photo. This is the most unserious moment. Okay.
Parents, anybody want to come up here and get a picture? Come on. Maybe you can do one better than we can and share it with us. Okay. Anybody else? Pictures? Okay, guys, congratulations. Go that way for me. And get your
Mason.
Congratulations, guys. Great season.
Hey, brother.
Great season, Coach. Appreciate you guys. Proud of y'all. Great season. Proud of you. Great season, Coach. Proud of you. Look at this guy coming up here, not being shy.
Now I recognize it. So,
Long time no see.
hey, there's your brother, by the way. Yes. Appreciate it, Chef.
Okay, at this time, we would like to recognize our employees of the month. If you are in attendance this evening, please join me at the podium as I call your name. From Barnett, we have Haley Kelm and Jada Mix. They're here. From Kubitschek, we have the first grade team, Lena Castro, Emily Corley, Kylie Elgin, Suzanne Grew, Lori Lamb, and Carly Steele. Congratulations, first grade team. From Woolham, we have Stacy Pope. From junior high, Amanda Wagner. From high school, Sierra Senseri. Did she come back in here, or did she leave us? She might have. From ISA, we have Jerica Doty. From transportation, Steve Clark. From maintenance and operations, Jose Osorio. From the custodial department, Araceli Ayala. From nutrition services, Sarah Kobek. From administration, Lori Marks. And from police, Travis Fotick. Congratulations and thank you for your service to our students in the district.
You need to quit running with whole first grade team.
Congratulations,
guys.
Impressive.
All right. Oh, good. I can see all of the board now. All right. 1, 2, 3. Keep smiling. Gotcha.
Anybody else want to take pictures?
You need to quit running with Shannon. You need to quit running with Shannon. Oh,
All right. Congratulations, guys. Go that way and you'll get your certificate. And that's our recognition for this evening. Thank you.
All right, we've come to that portion of our agenda for public comment. Board of Trustees will hear public comment on agenda items at all open meetings in accordance with the Texas Government Code Section 551.007. Public comment on non-agenda items will be heard at regularly scheduled board meetings April, August, and December per our policy. And tonight, we have no one signed up for public comment, so we will move on to our information items. Dr. Bott, I know you have a few things for us.
Yes, sir. Ms. Harris is going to give us a update on House Bill 8 whenever she's ready.
So House Bill 8 is essentially the bill that has the new STAR test in there. So I know there's been a lot of wonderings and a lot of misinformation out there. And the problem is they just really haven't come out with a ton, but we do want to give you what we do know. So the first thing is that there's going to be some new language in the directions. The directions are supposed to have a little bit less anxiety type verbiage in there where it should promote a little like this is okay and no worries on taking this test. So we get to see that this year. So the new directions, high school, you'll be the first ones that gets to see it. The other thing that we do know is while it takes STAR out, we have been given information on the fact that we will have a beginning of year test, a middle of year test, and an end of year test. Those are all required. All three tests are going to be required for grades 3 through 8. The beginning of year test and the middle of year test are going to be adaptive, and so they will be shorter. It will be kind of different, small, shorter questions, things like that. The end of year test is still going to be cumulative on everything that was supposed to be taught over the year. The beginning and middle of year tests will be optional for our EOC grade levels. So that will be up to the districts and the campuses. And this is something I'm glad to see goodbye. English 2 test, the EOC for English 2 will be gone. Yay. So you've already tested English 1, so I always wondered why we had to have English 2. It will be eliminated, but unfortunately our graduates of the 26 and the 27 school year, it will still be a required. Sorry. Oh, good, they left. So there. And then the last thing that we do know is that students with severe cognitive issues won't have to take the beginning of year test or the middle of the year test if like an art committee deems it not appropriate for those kids. So we know a little bit, and there's, I'm sure, led to 100 more questions. But I don't know that I'll have a ton of answers yet, but I'm willing to, try my best. Does anyone have any questions on that?
Yeah, on page 1395. I'm kidding.
Actually, one thing I did forget was this new STAR doesn't start until the year 27, 28. So it's the same year that was going to be the STAR refresh, which happens every 5 years. So they've aligned it with the new refresh, which is just a nice way of saying
the belief is
new test.
that the 2 preliminary tests, you're going to get results back quickly to be able to make changes as needed?
We would hope, because the general practice in most schools are that you give a beginning of year test and a middle of year test. We generally don't do a beginning of year test. We typically use the data from the previous year. So this will be new for us that we have to give a boy. But hopefully you would see the data come back quickly. Again, it's not written anywhere, but we would hope.
Okay.
My legislator told me that STAR was going away.
Yeah.
So just to be clear, We're not taking one test a year, we're taking 3 tests a year.
Yeah, and it sounds like STAR is still at the end. I mean, it's cumulative test. So, I don't know. Maybe it'll be shorter. I don't know. They have not put that in writing yet. So, the only thing they've done is say that the end of year test will be cumulative.
That was kind of a joke.
No,
for
I
sure, but-
know. It's just really ironic.
And it's only the end of the year test that counts in terms of grading?
That I don't know either. That's a good question. I don't know how the beginning and the middle will be factored in, if at all. We haven't had any clear direction in that.
Okay, I thought I had heard it was going to be the last test, but that was
And
that's just
maybe,
it. That
I
was-
haven't seen it come out in
Okay.
like the black and whites, but maybe it'll come out pretty soon, or maybe.
I think they
it
tried to
isn't.
indicate that last test will be what is more tied to accountability.
Yeah,
But no,
and that,
to your
I mean,
point,
that's
they
the
haven't
way I
really
would assume it would be, but then again, you know, we don't know.
clarified anything.
No, not 100%. Just, you know, they throw little crumbs out there, and so. Anything else? All right, thank you.
Next up, Mr. Wheeler is going to give us a brief update on facilities and maintenance.
Good evening, everyone. I wanted to touch on the Nelson roof has been completed. We are at substantial completion. We will do a punch walk after the Thanksgiving break, the first week of December. Once the punch walk is completed and all of the items identified in the punch walk have been met our standard, we will, once retainage is paid, we will finish that roof by filing our final FEMA claim, which is Category Z, which covers personnel, time, and everything like that. So that'd be our very final one that I've been mentioning to y'all. Audio enhancement equipment for ALC has been on ordered. It was about 4 to 6 weeks from the time that it was ordered several weeks ago. So once that's in, that'll be in 15 rooms inside of the Alternative Learning Center. It'll be a 2-button system. One is a panic button. One will be a intercom button to the front office. So it'll be integrated along with our audio enhancement that we have at other campuses. Tomorrow, we will also be conducting a walk with Huntsville ISD with audio enhancement. Huntsville is interested in their product, and they're going to come down with their director of facilities, and we're going to walk the junior high campus. We're going to start here to show them the admin console, how it connects, and then we're going to walk across the street to show them how we installed, how the infrastructure looks, how the application actually goes in, so they can see if they would like to move forward with Huntsville ISD. Most of you, I'm sure, have seen that the Hines Development has purchased the Lloyd track north of 517. The plan is to build out that 2,700 acre track over 5 to 7 years. There is a large portion of that which is Santa Fe ISD. There's been initial planning, nothing is finalized. The Duncan track was approved by League City. So I'm gonna bring this up. So what you're looking at right here, the blue line, I know it's kind of hard to see, the blue line is our district. So this area right here, all the homes in here is about 804 lots. That is inside of our district. The urban village area, which you see is this orange area right here, is about 80 acres, 80 to 90 acres of an urban village. An urban village is a combination of stores, multifamily complexes, individual lots. So 804 is just inside of our district that are actual lots that are already approved. So that urban village can make that number of 804 shoot up to a much higher number that we will be supporting. The first section is going to be this down here, Vitamar. They have already said that they're going to start pushing dirt within under a year. That was several months ago. So it is moving forward quite quickly.
What's the white line in the
I'm
middle
sorry.
of the map? It's
Let
okay.
me- Let me bring it back up. The white line, that is the proposed Grand Parkway.
Okay.
That is not the proposed, that is the route of the Grand Parkway. So everything you see that's red is going to be commercial development that is along the Grand Parkway. And then down here, this is 517 to the south. But yes, that is the first route, that is the almost final completion of the Grand Parkway that runs through our district, just in the Duncan track. The Lloyd track, which is to the west of it, has a much larger section of it as well. Pedrigal South has also been approved. This is their laydown. This is another 66 homes that will be south of 517. 517 is up here to the north. The blue line is our boundary line between us and Dickinson ISD. Those are just two approved areas that I wanted to put on everybody's radar.
Was this the one that was out off of Cemetery Road?
To the west, yes. Basically, it is directly on the other side of 517 from where Pedrigal is right now.
Okay.
That is my facilities update, if anybody has any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Wheeler?
No, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the next information item is mine. As many of you are aware, the state has required that board members attain so much training each year, and then each legislative session, it seems like the last few years, more and more things get added. A new board member has a minimum of 10 hours, and existing board members have 5 hours each year of various subjects, and then additional things like child abuse and prevention and things like that. And we get that training through person-to-person stuff here. Some of it is online or going to the convention and things like that. But I am very proud to report that all 7 board members here are current and up to date with all of their required training. So thank you, board members, for your effort with that, and good job.
Why are you looking at me?
Because you might have been the last one.
I was.
I don't know. Good job, everybody.
Our last information item, Mr. Sanchez is going to do a brief quarterly investment report.
So I really do live for these reports. So as you know, we have to present to the board our quarterly investment report. This report in particular is actually ending in September 30th, so that's roughly a few months ago. And this is normally the time period where you start seeing the transition between the previous fiscal year for TEA and the new fiscal year. So their new fiscal year starts October 1st, but this is when you begin to see actual changes, or at least you start seeing some of the cash outflows coming from them. If you look at our finances, we did see an increase in cash, and this is because we received a payment from TEA. This is the first payment that comes for the 25-26 school year, and it goes on to get paid in September, October, and November. Then we basically receive no payments for December, January, February, and then we begin to receive a smaller sum in the following months. This is just basically on the way that our tax collection works and how TEA sets up the schedule. With the new changes in legislation and the new amendments that have passed, we are going to see an increase in the homestead exemption. What that's going to mean is that during the months of December, January, and February, we are going to see a decrease in the collection of cash. Okay? During these times, we're going to actually work with what TEA has provided us and kind of use it, if you may, as a floating device during those time periods, just because we know our collections are not going to be as high. Normally, in previous years, we have seen collections running between $15 to $18 million. However, we are projecting that this year we're looking somewhere between the 12 and 15 million mark, just depending on several different factors, and then pending litigation when it comes to property values. Also, on the September 30th mark, we did see roughly about $178,000 from interest revenue. But however, we did see the Federal Reserve decrease their rates This is not, or basically looking at the trends right now, we don't believe this is going to be a long-term. There has been actually indications that inflation has caused, or inflation is going up, which is going to be an indicator that the Federal Reserve might push rates back up. There have been some talks about it. It just really depends on how the economy continues to work towards the end of the year and if there's any pickup based on holiday purchasing. So again, those are areas that are out of our jurisdiction, so we are just expecting to keep the rate as is for the time being. So we will not see any major increases in interest revenue, but also the good thing is we won't see any major decreases. So during the time that we are trying to float with the cash that TEA has provided us, we are looking to put it into our interest-bearing accounts to provide us some decent returns. Now, we haven't provided those monies to go into any investment vehicles aside from our generating accounts, and this is because of the cash flow issues. We're foreseeing tightness in the cash flow issues, so we don't want to put it in any investment vehicle that could potentially put it away for a longer period of time without us being able to access that. So, does anybody have any questions on that?
Do we know what the driver was for the random spike in Q3 on the interest that was earned?
We did have that additional payment from TEA, so that was a large influx of cash that provided us an additional amount of interest during that time. And also at that point, we had not seen the decrease in the rate. It actually, I believe, hit on October. So that's when we started seeing that little downhill spike.
Okay.
Alex, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
You're projecting that the interest rates with the feds are actually going to go up?
Yes, sir. So as you know, the Federal Reserve uses quantitative easing and interest rates to kind of monitor the economy and kind of control where they want to do it.
Yep.
Well, inflation started sinking for a moment there, and which is what they were trying to do to try to avoid any massive stagflation and just a spike in the inflation for the period. Well, we began to see the increase that they were looking for, which is roughly about a 2 to 3.5% inflation per year, and they started seeing that. And so at first they had thoughts that because of everything that's been happening with the economy and the potential conflicts that have been abroad, with some of the changes in that, you know, with the release of the Israeli hostages, we saw a decrease in tensions when it came to the Middle East, and that actually allowed for the economy to push itself up a little bit. The problem is that we're seeing that during the economic, I guess, if you increase during these months, the younger generations are not spending as much money, and so they don't want to decrease rates to potentially cause too much changes in the economy. Does that make sense? So as of right now, we believe that the Federal Reserve is going to stop itself from either decreasing the rate any further or potentially increasing it. So we do believe that it'll increase it. Looking at my indicators, it looks like they will potentially come to that decision in February or March. So that's where we believe it'll happen. Now, from here to then, a lot of things can change.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. That's interesting.
Yes, sir.
The other thing is that there's going to be a new Fed chairman in May. And
Yes.
There's going to be a lot of pressure to push down interest rates. And I was curious about the investments. You know, what are we projecting in terms of, you know, our revenue? So are you actually projecting that interest rates are going to go up and therefore we're going to have a little bit more money to spend?
So my projections right now are that we're going to remain flat. So in the most conservative approach is that we'll have them roughly about the same level that we have now, at least to the middle of the year, next year. So as of right now, we're probably indicating in our revenue projections a flat year from last year. Now, again, this is assuming no major changes. No, I believe the last change was about 25 basis points. So we didn't want to go ahead and overestimate that because especially a change in interest rates could potentially swing, you know, our revenue projections quite significantly because of the high levels of cash that we could potentially have in the accounts.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions for Alex? Thank you, sir, and thank you to your team for all the hard work during this. And I know you have in the past, and you will continue to work on ways to manage those cash flow issues and utilize the borrowing power that we may have and those type things. So appreciate that work from your team. Anything else information?
No, sir.
All right, we will move into our consent agenda.
We just have our minutes and accounts payable and the budget amendments.
Mr. President, I'll make the motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda. Any other questions or comments?
No, sir.
Not, cast your votes, please. And it is passed unanimously. All right, we will now move into our regular agenda, and our first is a GCAD Board of Directors election resolution.
Yes, sir. So the board's being presented with an election resolution. This is a selection year for the board of directors of the Galveston Central Appraisal District, also known as GCAD. The board of directors consists of 9 total members, including 5 appointed members who serve staggered terms. In this term, Santa Fe ISD, as a voting entity, is entitled to vote for up to 2 candidates from a ballot that is submitted by the GCAD, and that is in front of the board members in board book. Based on the levy, we are given 140 total votes. Those can be submitted for 1 candidate or split between 2 candidates. The 4 candidates that were submitted by the GCAD are Robin Collins, Matt Doyle, Thomas Farmer, and James Ross.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that this board approve the resolution for 2026 with 140 votes be awarded to Matt Doyle for GCAD Board of Directors.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve a resolution supplying our 140 votes to Mr. Doyle for GCAD. Any other questions or comments? Now would you cast your votes, please? It's passed unanimously. Thank you. Okay, Jenny, you have policy update for us?
I have policy update 126, which is policy changes that came from the 89th legislative session. Legal policy changes are attached for your review, and local policy changes, which include additions, deletions, and replacements, are listed for you in alphabetical order. This policy update was over 1,400 pages and had close to 200 policy updates. I think it's like the largest one TASB has ever had to put out. I'm just going to highlight a few of the changes that came out of the legislative session. Most of them are just basic changes in the language. BE Legal had basic changes in language that state that we are required to post a board agenda 3 business days prior to the meeting instead of 72 hours. CH Legal changes the competitive procurement threshold from $50,000 to $100,000. DH Legal and DH Local discuss employee standards of conduct and prohibit DEI duties. FA Legal states that we must have a parental engagement policy that provides an internal portal for parents to submit comments to district and campus administrators and board members. And FNA Legal states that the board will have to vote on whether to adopt a resolution designating time for prayer and religious reading. Those are just some of the highlights. Again, it's over 1,400 pages long, so most of them are legal updates, so they're kind of things we just have to abide by.
Any questions for Ms. Davenport on that?
Yeah, I've got 1 or 2 questions here.
Sure.
First thing I'd like to tell you that there's an awful lot here to update, and I know it takes an awful lot of work. Appreciate all the effort.
Thank you.
You guys have spent on this. Tremendous amount of work. I had a question regarding the CCG local, and this is it has to do with the ad valorem tax and the local revenue. And this may be for you, Jenny, probably for Alex, might even.
Probably for Alex.
Maybe even.
Not to
Dr.
throw you
Bond
under
here.
the bus.
This is an easy question, but it says HB 1453 allows the board to approve interest and sinking rates. that exceed the rate to maintain the same level of maintenance and operations. And I'm not quite sure I'm understanding that. Can you?
Yes, sir.
Can you
So-
give us some clarification?
So when we elect the tax rate, we have two tax rates that we have to elect. We have to elect the M&O and the INS.
Yes.
Under the INS section, we have costs that happen on a yearly basis. So the maintenance of the actual debt and the payment of the interest and the note
Right.
itself.
Right.
Okay, so in order for us to operate under that, we have to calculate how much our debt will be for that year and how much our payments out would be. So we calculate that rate and based on the outstanding debt that we have in the year, and we come back and we provide that tax rate.
Right.
Well, it was before this particular legal update, the board could, at their disposal, move the rate either up or down to be able to maintain that rate.
Yes.
The new law now states that we have to, when we post this change, if it is an increase from the previous year, we have to state this is a tax rate increase. So we would have to go in there and look at the actual document that goes into the paper to promote the board meeting and the tax rate. We have to state this is a tax rate increase and state how much it actually increased from the previous year. And the only reason why they're doing that is because districts were moving their tax rate down, but then eventually got into more debt or something, and they would adjust it to go up, and that difference would cover their, or to be able to defeat some of that debt. Well, now with the new legislative changes where you can't defeat debt without having penalized by the state, it's kind of turned into this back and forth kind of game with them.
But it says that it allows the board to approve?
Yes, so the board always approves the tax rate, but it can go higher than it used to, but you'd have to tell them, this is a tax rate increase. Before, you didn't have to.
So you don't have to go before the voters to do that?
Not for the INS rate, no, sir.
Okay.
Because they've already approved the debt, and they're basically letting you pay off the debt.
And those monies could only be spent on INS?
That is correct. INS and the servicing of the debt. So if you were to defease debt, or if you were going to refinance the debt, then you can actually go in there, change the rate, increase it or whatnot, so you can pay off that debt.
Right.
So,
Okay, thank you.
yes, sir.
That's all I had.
Any other questions?
President, I move that the board add, revise, and delete local policies as offered by TASB Policy Service for consideration and according to the instruction sheet for TASB localized policy manual update 126 as presented.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this policy. Any other questions or comments?
No, sir.
Not, would you cast your votes, please? It is passed unanimously. Okay, you have another one for us, don't you?
Yes, sir. I have policy FMH local. This is the diploma delivery. We've just updated our language to kind of match our practice. District representatives shall distribute conferred diplomas to students participating in commencement. A former board member may present a diploma to his or her child, stepchild, grandchild, sister, brother, great-grandchild, niece, or nephew, or to his or her spouse's child, stepchild, grandchild, sister, or brother. So this has kind of been our practice, wasn't necessarily spelled out, so we just kind of updated the language in the policy to match what we've been practicing.
Cleaned it up.
Yes.
Mr. President, I move that the board accept the changes made to FMH local as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the changes to FMH local. Any other questions or comments? Not, would you cast your votes, please? It's passed unanimously.
Thank you.
All right. Alex, you've got a policy now for the Friends Helping Friends.
Yes, so we currently, as a district, provide different benefits for our staff. And so in looking at those areas, we have been trying to find ways for us to be able to help those in our district. Since, you know, we are looking at some budgetary constraints, we are looking at other options to be able to help them and benefit them as we can. We currently have what we call the catastrophe or leave catastrophic leave bank, I believe that's what we call it. And this bank allows people to donate days in there, and somebody who presents themselves in a situation where they have had some catastrophic loss or some potential health issues that have rendered them unable to work for a certain amount of time period. We have a committee that reviews that and then allows them to have additional days paid during that time. Well, we got to a point where we were looking at policies, and we have some staff members who have been very generous, and they've come up to us and asked us if we could potentially donate days to other staff members because they have suffered in certain situations, and they have plenty of time that they could potentially donate. Now, we don't have a policy that would do that. So we are bringing a new policy, and we would like the board to consider this policy, what we call the Friends Helping Friends. Okay? In this particular policy, it would give the opportunity to donate local and state sick leave days to another employee who is in need due to a catastrophic injury or illness, or is absent due to the catastrophic illness of a family member. Okay? These regulations would then be created by Dr. Bott, and he would be able to guide the process. Now, what we have looked at is other districts who have this system in place. I believe Friendswood is one of them. I believe Clear Creek is another one. And they allow them to provide these donations to those to co-workers, if you may. So we would like the board to consider that. And if you guys have any questions on that, I can go ahead and answer those.
We have real-time examples of this need
Yes, sir.
right now.
We do.
Okay.
Now, what we have done is, in this case, we are not setting it up where it would be somebody requesting them, because we don't want to get into the situation where somebody feels, any kind of way for a potential situation and then make necessary comments or, do something that could potentially be damaging to anybody. So this is going to be out of the kindness of someone's heart. If they feel like they could donate something to someone, they can come and do that through the process. So they wouldn't be necessarily be outed, and they could remain as anonymous as they would like.
I think that's important to note, though, that this is not something that someone comes in and requests
No, sir.
from their needs. It's people giving it out of the goodness of their own.
Correct. Actually, the policy is prohibitive in the sense that it will not allow people to ask for it. So we basically wouldn't be able to send out, let's say, a mass email and say, hey, I twisted my ankle, guys, I need to get some help with days. We wouldn't be able to do that. So it would be somebody who knows of a situation of somebody else who, out of their heart, would say, hey, I have X amount of days that I would like to donate. I know I'm not going to use them. I'm going to retire in, 2 years or whatnot. And I have so many that even if I used all of them right now, I would still not be able to get done with all of them.
I think we're running into, I think what we were running into was there were people that were dealing with either personal or immediate family type medical situations or emergency situations, but weren't necessarily wanting to access that sick leave bank, that massive sick leave bank. But other people were approaching us saying, hey, I'd like to give days to this person, and we didn't have a policy that allowed us to do that.
Right.
This would allow people to do that.
Yes, because the catastrophic leave bank, one, it requires the individual to be part of the bank prior to the usage, obviously. So they would have to donate one of their days prior to entering that pool. Second, you have a committee that would review that to say, okay, the need is there. They have not been in this situation before. They're not basically abusing the situation. And then they would make the determination and allow the individual to have those additional days. But there's times where those situations don't necessarily apply, or they have been used already. Somebody has already exhausted the possibility of going into the catastrophic leave because they have used it before for whatever emergency may have been. So with this, it will allow them, in that case, if somebody else wishes to donate, and they can do that. And now, we have had people approach us and say, hey, can I donate this? But because we had no policy in place, that was not being able to be done. So we are bringing this up to you guys and asking if you guys would consider that. It is a benefit for our staff and those who feel that, it's a form of donation, and it'll help our people and we'll stay here locally.
No issues with managing this?
No, It'd just be an additional reconciliation on our line item, so, no, sir.
I think it's an awesome program. It's super common in the corporate world. One question though, were we able to work through the nuances, making sure that any role can donate to any other role?
Yes, so
Okay.
we have created the language in there that actually, and I believe it also is included in the new 126 update, where it's going to be equivalence, basically. So if somebody, because we have different calendars, we have different schedules, we have some people who work 4-hour days, some people who work 8-hour days, our teachers who work like 16-hour days. But, you know, they're gonna donate, and it's gonna be equivalent to the day-to-day that each individual works. So the way it's written, it provides that equivalence without having either additional time or removal of time, so.
So does it come down to a day for a day, or is it down to the hour?
No, it's day for a day.
Okay.
Any other questions for Alex?
So, yeah, so a teacher that has 25 years' experience is on a higher rate, so on the books that her sick time is more valuable than a 2-year, correct?
That is correct. However, once it's translated, it moves down to the rate of somebody else that would have that. And so we'll do the difference and we'll write it off in accounting.
So you, actually, the difference goes in our favor.
Correct.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, it's gonna be balanced because we know that there's gonna be individuals who are gonna do the opposite.
Gotcha.
And so we'll probably end up just kind of breaking even. And at the end of the day, when we do our audits, we keep a line item for all of our sick leave, state leave, and our comp time. So we'll be able to see the difference there on a yearly basis on the balance sheet.
I got you.
So one go back question.
Yes, ma'am.
If we're doing it a day to a day instead of hour to hour, and somebody who works an 8-hour day donates to somebody who works a 4-hour day, those other 4 hours are just lost from the pool?
That's correct. It is translated into the daily rate. It's not translated into an hour rate. Does that make sense?
It does. It's just a concern that those hours are lost after being donated.
Well, and
But
that's
they know
the-
that before they donate it.
Yes, and one of the things is that we found out, that's one of the difficulties, you know, one of the challenges. But if I have, let's say, bus driver who has a 6-hour workday, and they decide to donate a full day to a teacher, well, then the teacher is going to be owed 2 additional hours. And so they can't take the full day unless I make this equivalence. So it works on both ways. We lose those 2 hours if it's sent over from the teacher to the bus driver, but if the bus driver submits it over to the teacher, those additional 2 hours have to be covered by us. So that pool itself needs to net itself out to 0. And that's why we do the equivalence, because we're covering it as a day.
Interesting.
Any other questions?
Pleasure.
It's good policy.
Mr. President, make a motion that we approve the addition of DEC Local Friends Helping Friends policy.
Second.
Okay, so moving a second that we approve this DC local policy. Any other questions or comments?
No, sir.
Not, would you cast your votes, please? And it is passed unanimously. All right, let's see, you have the next one as well.
Yes, sir. And I will notate that this one is not necessarily the most logical and rule that the state has set, but, you know, they got a track record. Pursuant to House Bill 3372, effective as of June 22nd, 2025, prohibits administrators from receiving any financial benefit for performing personal services for any business entity that conducts or solicits business with the district, an education business that provides services regarding curriculum or administration of any school district, or another school district open enrollment charter or regional education service. Violators of this provision face a civil penalty of $10,000 per violation. However, there are exceptions, and these exceptions provide that the administrators, other than a member of the board of managers, superintendent, assistant superintendents, may receive financial benefit for personal services for education business that provides services to the district related to the curriculum or administration of the district or for another school district. If the school board votes to approve the contract between the administrator and other entity after determining it will not harm the district, will not be a conflict of interest, and finding the duties are performed entirely on the administrator's personal time. Okay, now after all that lovely mumbo jumbo, it's basically this. The state has decided that administrators in a school district cannot perform work outside of the district unless it's fully separated from the district, and that we cannot consult, we cannot provide any type of services to any other school district. Let's say that we find a new way to calculate the formula for a funding formula and it's far more accurate. Well, we cannot use that to help other districts where we financially gain unless we bring it to your board and we ask you guys to approve the contract and make sure that it's not going to violate the district policy, that it's not going to be done during district hours, and that, what was the other one? There's so many rules in there. And it will not harm the district. So we are bringing you our first contract today for the board to consider and approve. This board contract is for Gina Welsh, as she works also for the Education Foundation. Let's, being honest with this is a ridiculous situation.
I think the word we used earlier was stupid.
Yes, that we did say that. Because we know that Gina works with the district and the stuff that she's doing is for the district, so this technically shouldn't be an issue. However, in order for us to be able to maintain that relationship between us and the Education Foundation and have Gina be able to work seamlessly between both, we're asking that the board consider and approve the passage of her contract and approval of her contract to work as the moonlighting with the Education Foundation. Any questions on that?
This motion seems more broad than just Gina, though.
So basically, yes, it's broader in the sense that you're allowing that, but we're bringing you just one contract to review.
Okay.
For every time that there's a situation like this, any type of conflict of interest or whatnot, we would bring you the contract itself for that individual. And now, the individual will sign a document that states that they are doing this in their time, that they're not harming the district. Basically, these assurances that are legal at that point, and we will present it to the board for consideration. So you're not blanket approving everybody, you're just blanket approving the contracts that we're
Does
presenting.
this go for the superintendent as well?
Unfortunately, the superintendent is not allowed.
Okay.
Superintendent, assistant superintendent, and chiefs are not allowed to.
I was wondering, because we had talked about it a while back, I didn't know if they changed it.
No, sir. Those are
And you can
prohibited
actually say
from using.
contract, it doesn't say contract, like the language is plural,
I got you,
it could
as long
be
as it's-
singular,
Yeah.
that's
just
fine.
like it.
Yes, sir. Unfortunately, he cannot work elsewhere. Sorry, Dr. Bott.
All right.
Mr. President, I move to approve the contracts between the administrators and other entities as presented, determining that the contracts will not harm the district, will not be a conflict of interest, and the duties are performed entirely on the administrator's personal time.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this contract language. Any other questions or comments? Not cast your votes, please. And it is passed unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Harris, you've got one. The Region 4 Service Agreement.
So I guess it was around this time last year that we brought you the idea that we were applying for the LASSO grant, and then we ended up getting it late in the summer. So now we're here asking for your approval of 2 service agreements with Region 4. So those 2 grants did fund the school $455,000 in one grant and $140,000 in another grant. With that being said, part of that agreement is to partner with one of the agencies that have been chosen by the state for Bluebonnet. So those 2 agreements, service agreements with Region 4, one is for $70,000 and one is for $227,500 for a total of $297,500. We're asking that you consider and approve that for the LASSO grant for the 25-26 school year.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the 2 service agreements with Region 4 to provide professional development and support under the LASSO grant for Blue Bonnet implementation not to exceed $297,500.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the service agreement with Region 4. Any other questions or comments? If not, would you cast your votes, please? And it approved unanimously.
Thank you.
All right, let's see, our last one is our shared service agreement with Galveston Brazoria Cooperative for the deaf and hard of hearing. Ms. Halsey?
I have the fun acronym for y'all this evening. We have a shared service agreement with Clear Creek ISD for Galveston Brazoria Cooperative for the deaf and hard of hearing.
GBCDHH. I'm getting
I
better.
am
I'm
so
still getting better.
impressed. They provide services from birth to age 21 through instruction for our deaf and hard of hearing students, and they also provide assistive listening equipment for our students with deaf and hard of hearing. These services are provided either through direct site services, which are provided in Clear Creek ISD, or itinerant services, which is when they send staff to our district to service students. So, I am asking the board to consider and approve the total amount of $154,000, actually $154,978.47 to Galveston Brazoria Cooperative for the deaf and hard of hearing to provide services for our students, and this would be for the 25-26 school year. Any questions?
Nope. Mr. President, I move to approve the amount, what am I reading? This doesn't even make sense. I move that we approve the total amount of $154,978.47 to Galveston Brazoria Cooperative for the deaf and hard of hearing to provide services for our students that are deaf and hard of hearing through direct site services and internet support services.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with the, for the deaf and hard of hearing program. Any other questions or comments? Would you cast your votes, please? And it has passed unanimously. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank y'all.
Okay, that is all of our regular agenda item tonight, so we will move into our board communication. Mr. Couch, you have anything to add tonight?
Just some information that I saw from Galveston ISD where they didn't accept the 10 Commandments that was donated. I just wanted to say I appreciate the administration and the board's support for putting in that 10 Commandments. This very building where I went to school here in the first grade, we at Thanksgiving time, it's ironic, we learned the Psalms 100. And there's been a lot of discussion over the years. I think there's a big problem with what we're learning in history and our founding fathers. That term definition, the separation of church and state isn't in the Constitution. And that was first brought up in 1949 in a case that passed 5-4 that used that. So for almost 200 years, the 10 Commandments was a big part of the schools in this nation. If you go back and look at history, you'll learn that. And I see the Supreme Court and a lot of the conservative appellate courts now challenging that term of separation of church and state. So hopefully that will continue. But once again, I want to thank the board and the administration for us being able to bring in the 10 Commandments in all the classrooms. I've already heard from a few teachers and some parents. There's been some positive comments about it. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Kelly.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you all for what you do, and I don't think I've ever, maybe I have never done it before, maybe I have. I just want to tell Dr. Bott thank you. You know, you navigate everything pretty well, and your communication with the board is superb, and I really appreciate what you do. So, thank you.
How much did that cost you?
I don't know. How much is it gonna cost me? I don't know.
I'm kidding. Mr. Davenport, you have anything for us?
Yeah, a couple of things. First and foremost, I got about 5 items. Coach Ryder, thank you for the gear swag. Miss Marilyn, thank you for the beautiful bow and tag. I hope that, okay.
You so did that.
So, you did a great job. So, so the other thing is Chris Wheeler, to you, as well as those employees that took part in all the different Veterans Day stuff. I think you did a great job, and to those your staff and everybody that has served, tell them thank you again for us. Very much appreciated. Mrs. Seebach, last Friday night you impressed a lot of parents. I was standing there, and you were talking with us. And you made your way down to the custodial staff, and you acknowledged them, and then you took a broom and you started cleaning up after the student section. So thank you so much for doing that. Mr. Lissy, I see him in the audience today. Mr. Lissy, thank you so much. I know that you've been on social media recently, and you've been supporting the district and supporting staff, and it just want to say thank you so much. Appreciate you. Mr. Lackey, I think, just left, so I was going to say thank you to Mr. Lackey and the Pastoral Alliance for always being here. And then finally, thank you to TASB Update 126 for giving Mrs. Davenport some reading material. And she keeps it on her nightstand, and she was out by like 7:30 every night, I think, when she was reading that. So,
I don't know.
yeah. But other than that, no, thank y'all. I hope each one of y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And we're looking forward to the next TASB update so she can stay quiet. Me and the kids have some fun. So,
Boy, it's gonna be bad at your house. I just have a fun tonight. Mr. Hurtenberger.
I'll second everything except for what he said about his wife. And I hope all y'all have a very happy Thanksgiving.
Mr. Grassmuck.
Yep, hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm super proud of you, and I'm never disappointed in you.
Ms. Lambert.
I don't know how I follow up after everything that just got said, so I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. It's that time of year where we talk about how thankful we are for people. There's not a single person in this room, not a single role that I'm not thankful for. And my prayers are with you as you keep kids engaged between now and the holidays.
Dr. Bott, you have anything you want to close out with?
Yeah, I just want to thank all the leaders, principals, and directors, as always, for keeping the show running. Thank y'all for supporting our staff and just the endless amount of time I know you put in nights and weekends to make sure everybody's safe and the kids are taken care of and the staff is taken care of. Thank y'all. Thanksgiving is always a very well-earned, well-deserved break. Y'all know my suggestion. If you commit to just gaining 5 pounds, if you make that commitment and then you don't meet it, then you're good. If you do, you're good. There's no downside. So it's definitely my favorite holiday, and I wish everybody a restful holiday.
So I noticed when Mr. Sanchez was giving some examples of hours that people work, he mentioned teachers working 16 hours a day, but he didn't mention you, so.
No, but Patrick did.
Not sure
so
where that's going, so.
we got that going. I got that going.
No, really, well, just, it's hard to believe it. We're already in November. We're already at Thanksgiving. Obviously, wish everybody a good, restful week of Thanksgiving. Hope you enjoy lots of activities, whatever you do and whatever your family does and all that. Appreciate all your hard work and everything that's going on. Obviously, I do not want to dwell on it, but we had a little setback with our recent bond election, and we tried, but just know that we are not discouraged, and we will continue to work and do what we can do for what's best for these kids and what's best for you as the staff, and we'll keep right on going. And the great thing is, I'm glad that we get to spend so much time with recognitions, because they don't have to just go look for things. They're there. They're there because there are great things going on. Despite what voters may say and all these other things, there's great things happening here, and it's very evident, and we very much appreciate that. So with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Yes, sir.
I'll make one comment to Coach Ryder. I didn't get a chance.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to tell you, I I've been here for 65 years, and I've watched football games. I went to high school here. My kids went here. I got grandkids now. I don't think that there was a bigger game that we won this year, and what a fantastic season, especially your seniors. For that to happen the way that it turned out and not to be in the playoffs, I agree with you. That's a little tough. That's a tough pill to swallow. But it appears from all things that I can see that it really brought out the character in your team and your coaches. I was really impressed with your assistant coaches that you've got working with you, and we're very fortunate to have all you guys. So I agreed with everything that you had to say, and I can tell you for the most part, you're exactly right. That win that you guys got from the 10th ranked team in the state was just phenomenal. And so thanks for the great season.
Make a motion to adjourn. Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. All those in favor, raise your hand. And we are adjourned. Thank y'all.